2 weeks ago, whatever, I was just playing with my system and I was just messing around and I managed to kind of make a little kind of robotic sound from a sine wave. And then after I did that, I was like, oh, that would make a really interesting patch idea for doing like an against the clock. Because when we talked about doing it, I was a bit like, okay, what shall I do that's using the modular in a semi-interesting way, but still it's quite dance floor or kind of represents what I do as DJ House, so to speak, because obviously with modular stuff, you can spend hours just creating some really complex and experimental patches, but they don't necessarily translate well to, say, dance music, so to speak, which is kind of predominantly what I do, so yeah. Hi, I'm DJ House, and this is my Against the Clock with Fact. Okay, right, so. Let's go in here, make it a little bit more robotic. Output of cable. Actually, yeah. Right, so then that's kind of the patch, I guess. So I would start. Anyway, yeah, cool. Well, I've been making music for about 8 years, 9 years, and I was basically found myself in a position where I was basically making the same record over and over again. And I liked, I like kind of like house music and stuff like that and sample-based music, but it kind of got a bit boring. And I was kind of thinking, well, I just don't really want to make music anymore, because it's like I was buying a lot of records, sampling them and making tunes out of that. And the tunes would only be as good as the sample was, kind of, because that was the core part of the tune. So then a friend of mine showed me like his modular stuff, and we started making some tunes on it, and I was just like hooked straight away. And I just basically wanted to kind of make like really kind of freaked out kind of house music. And it just seemed like a very good way to be able to do that. It's funny because people say like, oh, when you get into modular, it's a death sentence, you'll never make any music. But I've made more music with this than I was making previously, just because it's kind of like you're the master of the machine sort of thing. You just plug it in and it just starts doing stuff and you're like, oh, that's sick, I'll just loop that or whatever. And then I'm setting up a new label next year called Haus Tracks, which I'm just going to release my own music on, and collaborations I'm doing with people on that, and that will probably all be based on this sort of stuff. Yeah.